Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome into Woodward Nights, Woodward Sports Network, and Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. Joined as always, Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter, and welcome. Let's have a night, boys.
Let's do it.
Let's have a night here.
Let's go.
We apologize for some technical difficulties. We're working on that still right now. We're going to get this thing going here a little bit. We're going to bring the energy tonight. Big night. If you guys are sitting there watching the Bears, no one cares about the Bears. FTB. And let's just, you know what, Broder?
For the boys?
Start it off in the F the Bears.
F the Bears.
Let's start it off in the chat. Everyone, throw in the chat FTB for the Bears tonight. Hopefully the Bears go 0-17. And to anyone's surprise, we have a Bears segment tonight.
The Bears.
Stephen A. Smith talked a little bit about the Bears tonight. A little breaking news on that one. But, Broder, how are we doing?
Actually, Bears, RIP. RIP to Dick Butkus.
Oh, RIP. Yes, Dick
Hall
Butkus.
of Famer. We got to shout him out.
Rest in
Hall
peace.
of Famer. 8-time Pro Bowler.
I didn't realize
Legend.
his stats until I announced that he passed away, and I went to go put obviously a tweet out for it, and looking at like his stats, and it was insane. Like multiple Defensive Player of the Year.
He's incredible.
Like it's insane. I know he played a long time ago, but it's crazy. Broder was in Allen Park all day.
It's a long day today.
Yeah,
Lots of press conferences, lots of chats with some of the players. Didn't get all the information we want, but we got some tidbits here to help you guys pick your fantasy squads or just make some decisions on rooting for the Lions on Sunday.
we do have a lot of. And the coolest thing about this that we have you on the show, and like.
Oh, Boone.
The best part about it, first of all, the first best part is that I get to do a show with you. That's the best part. Second best part is Matthew Broder is at Allen Park multiple times a week. And right now, we're probably the first show that gets to play some of these clips that maybe unless you're on social media and you saw some of them, but mostly these
put a
clips,
few out.
none of the other shows have had them yet just because there was some late late press conferences. So we'll get started with that. Packed show here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's start it off here, though, real quick. Bears Commanders. Let's just go around the room, get picks here real quick. Want to make sure we get that out before this game starts. I know we started a little late, so we want to make sure we get some picks out. So if you guys are watching the game, if you're following along, you can ride with us with some of our bets here. Broder, you can just pick the winner. You're not allowed to bet. So
The other team than the Bears. Whoever is playing the Bears is going to win this game by a lot of points. No, Washington Commanders. I actually like how they have been playing. I think they're going to dominate the Bears. Their defense is so bad. This might be Matt Eberflus'
last game.
His last game. We'll see. They better have a good one if they want to earn it. I did pick up Washington's defense in one of my fantasy squads. So
smart.
Let it fly, baby. Let it fly. I'm picking the Commanders.
The Commanders. Nick, I know you had a parlay. And
I threw one in the chat while we were just figuring out our technical difficulties. We're going to go Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr., 40-plus rushing yards. Justin Fields, 25-plus rushing yards. It's an absolute lock. Take it, Commanders. Bears remain defeated. I think it came out to like plus 100, but I got a little extra boost on it for some extra juice.
Okay.
A boost for some extra juice. I like that.
Let's go.
Jalen, are you ready for your pick yet? Or are you still loading some stuff in?
I'll go B-Rob touchdown, anytime touchdown.
I like that. I put a bet on that.
You know, he's a different dude. He got shot and then came back and went off to like the next week last year.
He's been going off to start the year.
The craziest thing, B-Rob anytime touchdown.
Many.
50 Cent reference. There you go, Broder. Man, these players aren't that. I don't like either team, to be honest, dude. We just go B-Rob touchdown, maybe.
How about Scary Terry with the titty?
He's another one. I had 3 touchdown scores.
I don't really have much for this one, man, because like these teams are like they can go either way for real.
Anything, dude. It's like that Monday night game that we were watching. It was just nothing good was happening out of that game. It was the most boring game, and I put all these bets on for it, and it felt like I was just nothing good was happening.
Also, side note, that Brian Robinson video of him coming out the tunnel, his first game back, gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
If there wasn't audio, if we didn't get in trouble for playing audio, I would say we play that.
Yeah, I wish. Just Google it, YouTube it. Just keep our stream open and put us on mute.
So this is what I have here tonight, fellas. So I have a parlay. And Jeff is also on this. We cooked it up. We were over at 5 Iron. We cooked it up. Brian Robinson 40 rushing yards. I think Nick had that. DJ Moore 40 receiving yards. Terry McLaurin 4 receptions. Justin Fields 1 passing touchdown. Has done it in every game. And Khalil Herbert over 12.5 receiving yards, which is done in 3 and 4 games. That was plus 732. So that is my parlay for tonight. I do have a couple straight bets going. I do have a Fields touchdown score.
Nice.
DJ Moore touchdown score as well.
Nice.
And then the two I'd pick 4. I'd pick 2 on each side. I do feel like the game there's a lot of points.
You picked the under on Chase Claypool.
He's out today. Actually,
I know the under on anything.
Everything. If they would have put that out there, we would have stolen some money there.
Yeah.
But those are kind of my main bets there. I have a couple other ones. I don't want to just give all of them out, but I just have so many.
Can you sprinkle them through the game? I guess actually you got to put them in
as
before.
they start to hit and things start to hit. I will start throwing them out there.
All right, a little salt.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Broder, fun fact of the day here. I have the Booner fun fact of the day. Maybe we'll start doing this.
Maybe.
I want to know if anyone in the chat ever knew this, but I saw this on Twitter today. Did you guys know Travis Kelce is the same age as Rob Gronkowski?
What?
Travis Kelce's that old?
No, Rob Gronkowski's that young.
That too.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
there,
wild.
How crazy is that? Travis Kelce's birthday is today. Turned 34. I think it's today. Turned 34.
I like these random Booner stats of the day already. That was a great one.
I'm going to start bringing random stats or fun facts.
Wow, dude, let it fly.
It's just crazy. I can't believe
He's
it.
having a big month. He's having a big couple of months, I guess. Now he's a birthday boy. He's probably hanging with T Swift tonight.
Oh yeah, probably birthday night with T Swift. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm sure the Heavies did the video of Big Cat. You were at the heavyweight show.
Yes,
did
they
you guys
did.
Watch that video?
Yeah, it was just an insane video in the first place. It was obviously a joke.
It was obviously a joke, but the thing is, it's like I went back and like kind of see how people are kind of going at him. There's like articles like in the New York Post, I'm pretty sure, like written about him doing that, and then I heard him say something about how. All the Swifties are coming at him because he basically, what happened was, if anyone didn't know, he said something like, I don't believe the relationship is real until I see those two in like a sex video or something.
No, Jesus.
But it was a joke. Like he was like, relationship's not real unless we actually see it happening. But it was just, people took it seriously. Swifties took it seriously. New York Post, like every big art.
This came from Travis Kelce?
No, from Big Cat.
Oh, from Big Cat. Got you.
So he made the joke about it on his show. And then that came out and happened, and like he said that they asked him for comment, and he just doubled down on it and was like, you know what, I'll take a sex video, but it doesn't have to be like fully, like it could just be, and it's just a wild statement to say, but obviously a joke.
A little Ray J, Kim K action there,
man. Before I know we'll go to break in a couple more minutes. We'll kind of push it back a little since we started late.
Push it back.
I'm going to ask you this, though, Broder, because you did tweet out the Mel Tucker stuff. Crazy what's going on right now with the Mel Tucker stuff.
I did. Right when you thought it was not over, but decisions were going to be made or going to be moving on from. But we're figuring out who the next coach is. All of a sudden, this news comes out that this lady might not have been so honest in the investigation in terms of the relationships that she was having. And I don't know all the details. I didn't have time to really study this, but she has having another relationship with another married coach.
A coach at the same time?
At the same school. Was it at Michigan State?
I don't know if it was at Michigan State. I think it might have been a different coach around the country.
See, that's a credibility killer. If you're going... I never criminalized Mel Tucker, but I did think it was stupid that he's having any kind of extramarital relationship with a lady who's brought to this team to teach your young men about sexual violence and the bad sides of sexual assault, and then he goes and does that. But if she's doing this around other school, like this is becoming a serial. God, there's a cell phone joke in there, but she might be a problem, and I don't know how much do we want to go into this, but some of these, Michael Irvin, Trevor Bauer, like these situations keep popping up where men are being thrown to the curbside.
It's crazy, and like just the fact, like there was like text messages that were deleted. No, you're good. There was text messages that were deleted, and like that they found like they delete, like she tried to access different places to delete it. I don't know. It was crazy. I tuned into E&E because they were talking about it a little today, but it just, I didn't really dive into it, so I don't want to comment a ton on it if I don't know all of the facts.
Yeah.
But like,
it's crazy though.
It's a wild situation. Like you said, the Trevor Bauer thing that came out today, and there's actually a video of the girl in his bed like winking and like that, knowing what she's doing.
Messed up.
Just ruining people's lives, man. It's kind of crazy.
It's sad because like the hardest part about it is, well, you want to give any woman the benefit of the doubt in that situation, like in a situation where sexual violence has happened or is happening, but the more times that people come out lying about this, that women come out lying about this, or really in any situation, this one just happens to be about women.
Yeah.
Like, we want to give the benefit of the doubt, but the more times this happens, the harder it is to do that off the bat.
It's just such a bad situation, man, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, for Michigan State too, though, like if they kind of they talk about this on E&E, if they knew kind of more about what was going on, and then they ended up having some of this information that they didn't put to the public or the lawyers or whatever it was, that's just a bad look as well. Like
Michigan
Matt
State
said that as well. It was like, if you had this information and you didn't put that out there, and you knew that might have, like, she might have been with someone else, and like these text messages and these different things, and they kept that going, that's where it gets into waters to where it's like, all right, he would have never he would have never lost his job. He shouldn't have. And there's just a lot of things, and then it looks like they just did that just to get rid of him because of the money and the contract. Someone said it on a show today. What coach is going to want to go there if that was what happened? If that was actually what happened, where you can go trust the kind of the front office.
The irony of that today, Urban Meyer has been the talk of the town.
Oh my gosh,
that's a totally different story, but it's just sad.
That was something I had in one of these little segments we have going on at 9:30. We were going to talk about Michigan football, but I also put in there Urban Meyer rumors. So maybe we will touch on that. But now with this kind of information, I put that in there early this morning. This information came out in the middle of the day. So I'm like, I don't even know if I want to talk about it.
It's that 8 o'clock show. Like this is what we're getting used to here. Like, what we may have thought we're going to talk about at the beginning of the day at 2 p.m. is not what we're going to talk about at 8 p.m. It changes fairly often.
It does. And what we're going to do here, guys, if you guys are just tuning in, hit that like button. We appreciate it. I know we started a little late. We're going to go to break here in just a second. But kind of the rundown of the show, as soon as we get back from the break here, we're going to kind of go over the injury report. We have some injury kind of updates. Guys still kind of out. We want to talk about that a little bit. At 8:30, we're going to start going into these press conferences that were today. Broder was in Allen Park, so he was in Allen Park doing all these press conferences in the locker room, all of that. We're going to go over the Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, and Ben Johnson kind of press conferences. 8:45, we're going to go into the player locker room videos. Right after that, 9 o'clock, we're going to get back into this Lions-Panthers game. We're gonna break it down a little bit. I have some questions here for you guys. We have some videos about it. We're gonna get into the Lions-Panthers. 9:15, Stephen A. Smith came out and said that the Chicago Bears team right now are currently worse than the 0-16 Detroit Lions, and we're going to talk about that to see if that is true. I have a bunch of graphics. 9:30, we're going to talk about the Michigan football schedule for next year. 9:40, we're going to kind of keep going on about some college football stuff and some more Lions. 9:50 mailbag. That's it. That's going to be the show, fellas. So make sure you guys stick around. Tell your people to come in here and watch it. We'd love for more people to come in and kind of get going with that.
Tell your clique.
But Nick, tell us about Academy of Warren. Baby.
And at Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Stone field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football with grades K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. They are now accepting new enrollment. Go to theacademyofwarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
All right, outdoor equipment company, baby. Let's talk about it. Official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. It is Michigan-grown, family-owned. Bad boy mowers, tractors, style handhelds, and even weed whippers. Liberty trailers, generic generators, snow X-plows, and salters. Listen, Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. You can buy it, you can rent it, 0% financing, delivery right to your doorstep. You can go get a tractor, 0% financing right to your doorstep. That is OutdoorEquipCo.com. Again, that is OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, here we go, fellas. We're fully into it now, fellas. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Make sure you guys hit that like button for us. We're back here. I know we started a little late, but hey, we're rolling now.
7-0 Bears too, Booner. Looks like a Justin Fields to DJ Moore touchdown.
DJ Moore touchdown?
Did you not just call that like 10 minutes ago?
I literally just gave out DJ Moore touchdown. How about that, huh?
That's like all 1-0 on the night, Boone.
We're going to start stacking winners here. We're going to start stacking. And guess what? That's one Justin Fields passing touchdown, so we're locked in for that. But, Broder.
Booner.
FTB. F the Bears, man.
For the boys.
For the boys. It's really just for the boys. But let's get into it here. Detroit Lions. We're going to injury breakdown. I know we did this yesterday, and it's going to end up kind of being a similar segment because the same guys are out. But is there any update on Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah. I mean, the update is coming from him, and it's that he expects to play. He wants to play. His goal is to play. It doesn't look like there was anything that throughout this week that set him back. It is an injury. I believe that we don't know where it started, but we believe it happened in the game last weekend, and he's just been kind of nursing through it. It's not an injury, he said, that affects his mobility, his strength, nothing. It's just a little bit of pain in his abdomen. So this might sound weird to say, but because it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm not really worried about pain. Like if he can actually walk, if he can run, I expect him to play. And again, that doesn't mean that he is going to play because the decision comes down to the coaches and the medical staff that we talked about all week. Are they going to kind of phone this Carolina game in or not? We'll see. My guess is this early in a new season that they're not just going to sit Amon-Ra. Like you can't lose this game.
I had this conversation in 5-Iron with Jeff, and he was like, well, I would rather, basically what he said, and it makes sense. It depends on how you look at it and how you feel kind of about the situation. But he was like, I would rather guys sit out now and say that you do sit someone's guys out and you end up losing. He was like, I'd rather take an early season loss and than a late season loss, which makes sense to me. But like if you can get ahead with these games here, like a Carolina game where you can win, like just stacking up NFC wins, I just feel like you should do that.
Yeah.
And if there's like, that he's able to go and there's not a chance that he's going to get that much more injured, it's like I said yesterday, it's the NFL. It's the NFL. These guys are going to come to play too. We saw it last year versus Carolina. Did we have a video of Amon-Ra? Because I haven't seen any. And I'm with the chat here. A lot of these videos that we're going to see, these are going to be first reaction from Booner here.
Love that. There's a video of Amon-Ra, how he's feeling health-wise.
I'm feeling pretty good. I was running today. Actually, I think I might have hit one of my top speeds the other day, so feeling pretty good. Yeah, during the game, yeah.
How fast?
I think I hit like 21. 21, yeah.
Are you aiming for a certain speed?
Nah, I wasn't aiming for anything.
With the injury, is it a pain management thing? Is it a mobility thing? It just affect a whole lot of things.
Yeah, just pain. Just pain, yeah.
Sensitive to the touch then?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Top speed.
So you react first, since I'll give you my opinion on it. But
he hit his top speed, he said the other day. I can't tell sometimes, especially like if you watch his podcast, when he's like being sarcastic or not, or if he's joking around, because he jokes around a lot. But yeah, hitting his top speed. I mean, if he's that, like even with the injury, and it must just be something minor to where it's like, hey, we have time. Like we talked about it last week, that 10-day stretch where you have time to rest if you have any tweaks. It seems like that might be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I see his attitude, and you might have seen more of his podcast than I have, but he seems loose. He seems like he wants to get out there. He's just talking about all the positives. So there could be something going on behind the scenes where he's kind of getting the feeling they're going to sit him. But my thoughts, my gut.
What makes you say that?
Just that, I don't know. It's a feeling. It's the energy that I know he was making some jokes there. He was talking about his top speed, but there's like a focused energy that he normally has, like when he's preparing for a game. It's almost like when he gave his response, like I expect to. Actually, it wasn't in that video, but he says it's my goal to be out there this weekend.
Yeah.
Either they're getting really savvy at having interviews because from coaching to players all season, we haven't learned. Like they've been pretty good about keeping stuff behind closed doors. Whenever I hear him say it's my goal, it's like I think, there could be someone else's plan happening in the background. Does that make sense?
It does, but he kind of had that confidence. Remember when the toe injury, and he came out like this, and he had a little. You were in the locker room probably at the time, and he had that like same confidence here to where we all thought he was going to sit out for that toe injury.
Yeah.
And he ends up coming out being super confident, joking around, and he ends up playing. They've been really good keeping things in-house, though. Because that remember the Taylor Decker thing? Like, I don't know.
As well.
So I have a question then to kind of put towards you with this.
About it.
Jamison Williams. Now that, if say Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play or he's limited, JMO, it's his first game back. Originally, it was going to be, and we do have a video and a couple segments of Ben Johnson talking about JMO and working him in. Does JMO get a bigger role then with Amon-Ra sitting out? That's where my head went instantly.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make sure I don't talk about the Ben Johnson's press conference, but I think so. I don't think it's going to change. I think whatever they were planning on however much they were planning on integrating Jamison Williams in the offense with St. Brown, they would still do without him. Of course, if he's out, there's 5 to 9 more targets out there. I just don't know. I think these coaches are slow. Regardless of who's out in the field, I think these coaches are just going to ease everybody along. So I don't think they're going to throw it to him 10 times, even if they could. If that makes sense. Like, I think Ben Johnson is just he's gonna get him 4 or 5 touches.
Have certain plays for him.
Yeah. You know what I'm
he
saying?
does talk about it too. We're gonna have a video.
I'm trying to weasel around this.
I see what you're doing too, because I just went to go talk about it and I almost gave up a little bit of the secret sauce there.
Should we just play it, or we'll come back to it?
It's the next segment. So what we'll do is we'll go to break here real quick. Appreciate you guys sticking around. We're gonna go to break so we can get this break in and we can go full. We can just start fully here, full segments instead of around these breaks. So
come on back after I tell you about Mark White Real Estates, because when buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement. So if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at www.canna.com.
Yeah.
Hey, what an ad read, man. Give it up for
Who
Nick.
wants a mustache ride?
He's came a long way
Oh,
from practicing
Broder.
those ad reads before the
Sure,
show.
you coquet.
Now to just hit an ad read or sound bites in the middle of his ad reads.
Advent.
That is unreal, man. Shout out to Nick. But welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Make sure if you guys are tuning in, hit that like button for us, please. Smack that like button. Tell a friend, be a friend to come in and watch the show every single night, 8 to 10. But we're going to get into this here. Press conferences. There was a press conference today. The first segment we're going to do was not Dan Campbell.
Nope.
Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson both spoke to the media today. Broder was in attendance for that, and we have a lot of different clips here. And I'm going to what we're going to do with this is I'm going to lead it off with a little bit of a question or a statement here, and then we'll go into that because there's 6 different clips here that we're going to go into. So let's start with the Ben Johnson and Jameson Williams stuff here.
Sweet.
Ben Johnson, JMO. So we were just talking about that. Kind of if Amon-Ra sits out, correct? What would happen? Does JMO get more snaps? Because that was something that's been a question. Was a lot of people are talking about it. I'm sure a lot of you in the chat, me and myself, said that JMO's going to be on not a limited snap count, but they're going to slowly get him in there because obviously he's not injured right now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how do we get him involved in the offense? Ben Johnson actually talked about it a little bit, which kind of made me feel a little bit better about how he's confident that how he can use JMO, not just JMO, but with JMO coming back, how he can use other guys. So here's Ben Johnson on putting JMO into this offense.
Yeah, I would say this, not just about JMO, but about all of our guys. Whoever we have up on game day, we have plays for. They have a role. Some guys more than others, but every week, everyone we are intentional about getting everyone involved and doing things that they're capable of doing. Whether the play gets called or whether the coverage dictates the ball going to them, that's a different story. But
that's it, brother.
Dude, I'm
intentional.
I'm sad.
Why?
He looks like such a head coach.
He does. I was thinking that in that press conference today.
He's such a head coach.
The way he was talking.
It's great. It's just not great for us. We're going to lose him next year.
He's grown a lot, too, because you remember press conferences last year, like a little quieter. Now he's up and at it. Like he looks like a head coach.
And
now.
the fact, we were not going to talk about it today, but there was a question asked to him about the recruiting process when he was going through becoming a head coach, because he interviewed at Carolina, and he said, well, guys, we're not going to talk about that during the season. We spent our time like all these coaches, even AG, when we see him, they just keep getting more and more polished. But the question was about JMO. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say the question about the Panthers, him asking them about the the head coaching job, he shut that down so fast.
He did.
He was like, I'm not to be rude here, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
And then someone asked him a question to follow that up, and he was
the same
like,
guy.
Yeah, and he was just like, no.
He's a vet too. He's the one guy that can push the buttons a little bit.
I figured it. I know who it was, but I figured he was allowed to ask that second question. If you did that,
I would be out of that room so fast.
Really?
No, but I want to do. You got to earn some credit. Like this is. I don't have the credibility, the experience.
We need to get Broder some street cred around here.
Takes time. No, in 5 years, when you still see me in that seat,
and 8 to 10 here.
Exactly. But JMO, they have plays scripted up for each one of their like. If you're an offensive player on the active roster, Ben Johnson has plays scripted for you. Whether they get called or not, and this is what he was saying in his press conference, whether they get called or not is another story. So if Jameson Williams is active, and I don't believe it's actually been officially, I don't think he's officially been activated or on that roster. Julian Aquara also. It's not official that they're on that active roster, but he said if they are, there will be plays scripted for you. It's whether they get called or not. So the more I think about it, actually, you brought up in the first segment, Amon-Ra being out. Jameson, he and Amon-Ra actually probably are the two most are the least similar in terms of where their route tree, in terms of where they're going to be. Might be more Khalif Raymond, might be a little bit more Josh Reynolds in Amon-Ra type spots, maybe even more Sam Laporta. I would expect to see more of him. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how they start using J-Mo.
That's where my head was at when I heard that, and at that time I didn't really even think about the St. Brown injury, so that never popped in my head with it, but it gave me a little bit of confidence to know that they're definitely going to give him the ball or try to find spots within the game. But you know what also that kind of makes me feel?
What?
Is Ben Johnson's he's not going to go out there and try and force things. He's not going to go out there with the game plan knowing that Jameson Williams is back and just sit there and go, we're going to try and get him the ball. We're going to try. No, he had, like he said, we have scripts and we have plans for each player on the team. If they're active and they're there, they're going to have a handful of plays there for them within the script. So we know we're going to see J-Mo Sunday in some capacity, and if St. Brown's out, that script changes and maybe some more plays get added to J-Mo there.
Yeah.
So because we've seen some of Ben Johnson's scripted plays for J-Mo. They've been literally last year. As Neil Rule says, he touched the ball 4 or 5 times, and every time he basically was in the end zone. Stepped out of bounds, flag on a couple of them, and got called back.
You see a reverse, Jahmyr Gibbs, a little pitch to Jameson Williams going the other way.
Yes.
Jared Goff out front, laying a block.
I just posted that today on Woodward.
Nice.
I was like, man, I don't think we have it. It's just a great block from Goff. Let's transition to that then real quick. You said Jahmyr Gibbs on that reverse, kind of taking up kind of that space there. I don't know if you guys saw the reverse there with Khalif Raymond, but the defense collapsed on Jahmyr Gibbs. And Ben Johnson spoke about it today because we've all, including myself, everyone in the chat, you're lying if you didn't, we all asked about the usage of Jahmyr Gibbs. Ben Johnson answered the question today. He answered it in the most perfect way possible. He came out and he didn't say, hey, listen, we're not trying to give him the ball. We want to give Jahmyr Gibbs the ball all the time. We want to get him in the position. We know how good he is. He's the 12th overall pick for a reason. But to this point, and it proves that he's the 12th overall pick, as soon as he touches the field, defenses know, and they have been on him. They haven't been targeting Amon-Ra St. Brown. They haven't been targeting Jared Goff. They've been eyeing in on Jahmyr Gibbs. And Ben Johnson right here, he talks about it, and he kind of breaks it down for the people fantasy owners who are mad about it. Here's Ben Johnson on Jahmyr Gibbs.
Really last week, too, Green Bay is about a quarter in and saw that they were calling the game completely different when 26 was in the game. And so that's a sign of respect for him, that guys are looking at him and they know where he is on every single play. Hell, the reverse went for a major gain, partly because the ball was in his hands to start the play. So it's a challenge for us as a coaching staff to, even though they have a plan to slow him down and stop him, we are still creating opportunities for him. And that's a good challenge for us.
And Booner, that came right after he was talking about, he went into Green Bay this last week, the next week. It was right before he was talking about Atlanta, and they had they had game plan for Atlanta's defense, but on game day, they came with this, what did I write down? Butch technique, he called it, which Atlanta ran. They never ran it last year. Their defensive coordinator, who was in New Orleans, had never ran it before, so it caught him by surprise.
So it's a Bill Belichick.
Yeah, so what it taught him is they're scheming for, like, the opposing teams are game planning for Jahmyr Gibbs. It's a sign of respect. They're still going to try to give him the ball, but we see, I know people don't like the decoy word, but like just having the ball in his hands makes a huge difference.
Like Jahmyr said, I think the respect angle that Ben Johnson said, I think that respect angle that teams, like, he hasn't even, coming into the Kansas City game, he played one game in Atlanta already, or 2 games, and Atlanta's already doing that to him.
Yeah.
They know. He has that respect off the bat. The fact that they're eyeing in on just him on that offense, and they're putting their defense basically around that and that scheme around it, that shows right there. And I did see a lot of people in here, and I saw you as well, Broder, put feed Monty. I 100% agree, because if say you have them both on the field at once and Jahmyr's sitting there in the slot or something, Monty's going to have everything open. Sam Laporta, when Jahmyr Gibbs out there, it's going to open things up for Sam Laporta. It opens things up for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds. You're able to use him as a decoy, and that's a positive thing.
Yes.
That's not a negative thing. Like, that is not negative at all. We should all be glad that this is actually that Ben Johnson came out and said this is the reason why we haven't been able to get him the usage and get him the plays that everyone's asking about is because they're scheming against him and him alone.
And also in terms of Monty, in terms of other things they do off of that, Ben Johnson was talking about how their goal is to be able to morph into whatever the game sort of gives to them. If it turns into a Green Bay Packers game where they need to feed Monty the rock for 32 times, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it successfully. If they need to throw the ball 40, 45 times, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it well.
And someone in here in the chat, where is it at? Someone said feed the hot hand. I can't remember where it was. But that's exactly, Ben Johnson actually said that in the press conference. Yeah. He was like, I know he's coming off an injury, but David Montgomery, he was getting everything for us. And he was running extremely hard. And he was like, we just
feed him.
We ran with the hot hand.
Feed him. By the way, shout out Shane Daniel. Says Flannel needs to watch this to get off the Gibbs not being used properly trade.
You know what I'll do is I'll send Flannel this clip. I'll throw that clip specifically in the morning Woodward thing, and I'll send it to them just so Jeff can play that for Flannel. Because I think
Flannel isn't in the minority though. Like the people are bitching about Gibbs.
Does that kind of clear it up though? And in the chat, like if people want to answer, that to me it cleared that up. It cleared that whole conversation up. Jalen Nick, does that? Are we crazy for thinking that kind of cleared up that usage conversation?
Yeah, in my eyes, it truly does, because Ben Johnson and this Lions team only want to win games. They don't give a shit where Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted, and they don't give a goddamn about your fantasy team. So that's, simple as day. Ben Johnson basically came out and said that.
Yeah, Jalen, did you feel the same way?
I just think it's whoever, fits the play, whoever fits the scheme and everything. Like, he's top 15, but, like, I want him to get used, on the field or whatever, like, motion offense, but, like, whatever's working, why mess it up? If Khalif's doing good on those wheel arounds and stuff like that, use him. If, Amon-Ra's doing this, like, Jahmyr is cool, but if the defense knows about him, why force feed him? You don't have to force feed him yet, because slowly on, they can't contain him forever. That's just not going to work in football. Somebody's going to always get off. So I feel like Ben Johnson just, saying what he said as a, OC as a, future head coach probably, I think he did pretty well explaining that to everybody.
You know what's going to help that out as well, too, and open that up to Jalen's point? J-Mo coming back. The defense is going to have to start dialing in on all these guys.
Who do you worry about?
That's the issue. Is you have St. Brown, J-Mo, Jahmyr Gibbs, and if Monty's out there, you have Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds. Like, they're unlimited weapons, it feels like. Mm-hmm. Jared Goff just has dudes around him right now.
Yeah, dude, it's special.
Defenses are going to, and you have Ben Johnson scheming up plays.
Dude, in the next segment when we play Amon-Ra St. Brown video, he talks about the benefit to him and the other receivers in their room when Jameson's on the field, just the extra little space it gives them. I'm excited. Maybe we'll play that right at the beginning of the next one. But
we did. Oh man, it is break time.
I know we're flying.
We have an extra kind of an open segment, so we can kind of push this one, and then we'll get into the players. But when we come back here, we have some Aaron Glenn videos, and a couple are very interesting. At least I feel like about Aaron Glenn actually talked about the Fire AG stuff.
I loved his press conference today.
Whoever asked him that question, shout out to them for being able to go up there. That's something I couldn't do, is to go to a coach and be like, hey, how do you feel about the Fire AG thing going around?
I think it's a little easier to ask when you're now 3-1 and your defense has turned it around to the number one rush defense in the L.
All right, let me tell you guys real quick about Guardian Alarm. We're talking about AG and some defense, baby. This is the defense that you guys need to know about. Customized solutions from real experts. It is our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us any day or night and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology that is backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Listen, make sure right on the screen there, right above me, see that? 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. They've got grab-and-go steaks, and they are delicious. Or you can order them online at fairwaypacking.com. .com. There we go. Since there's no little in and out.
No in and out.
We're just into it.
I don't know if the people, I'm sure the people kind of already know the tech issues we're having. Broder's camera. The camera like this for me, Broder's. So that was the tech issue we ran into.
Is it still bad? Like, can you put it on me to show them what it looks like?
Oh,
forget it.
Can we get that as a sound bite?
Wait, what did I say? Can you put it on me so they
show them what it looks like? All right.
I see you did. By the way, Dominator. This is a Wings update. I don't know the score, but Wings B team is tied with Toronto Starters going into the third period. Good news.
That's good. The B team.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Appreciate
I know Monday
you
Night
guys.
Football is going on. I think it's 10-0 Bears. We're happy you're here. If you could hit that like, we would really, really appreciate it. Smash it.
Let's go.
Like a burger.
Smash burger, baby.
Burger.
Let's do this, Broder. Let's keep going with the I want to get this AG stuff, the coaches press conferences. We've got an open segment here, so we're able to push it back a little bit. But AG kind of came out and talked about a few things. 3 things he talked about that kind of stood out to me. If you guys didn't watch the press conference, AG, first of all, spoke on the loss last week or last year. And he kind of just talked. Someone asked him a question about, hey, what is your guys' mindset coming up back into this? Like, you just lost to the Seahawks, all of that. So this is AG real quick talking about the Carolina loss and the Seahawks loss and this bounce back here because
let's go.
Tough loss.
Just last year too, playing into what you guys are doing this year.
I think you're gonna hit that no matter what. Offense, defense, special teams, you're always going to have a rough patch. I don't know what people think this is. This is not a game. This is grown men out there playing. And every now and then you're going to have rough patches. And like we had some. I mean, hell, we had one against Seattle. But when you have men that understand and, again, to have pride and want to be good, that makes all the difference in the world. And with the staff that we have, how we're just like beating into these guys, man, this is an improvement type business. And those guys really, really understand that, probably more than any other time right now. Because
not a game, practice. No, he didn't say practice.
Not practice, but he's, hey, this isn't a game. This is real. Like, you're going to have those moments. This is, Broder.
Booner.
I hate to take a victory lap. This is what I tried to tell the SOL fans 2 or 3 weeks ago after the Seahawks loss. You're going to have those games. This is the NFL. You're playing in the best league in the world. The best players in the world. You're going to have those games. And to know that they're pros about it. AG knows it. He knows Carolina last year that his squad, his unit, the defensive unit, was bad. They gave up, 350 rushing yards to 48. Or something, 350 something. It was brutal.
It was a lot.
And he knows it. And he knows that it was the same thing with the Seahawks game. And he knows it. And if we're being realistic, it's going to happen to the offense at some point this season. The special teams are going to make a mistake again at some point this year. And the defense might have another game where they gave up 30 or something points. But it's how you respond to it. I think they respond good to it, too, on Sunday. I do. I think AG... Positive vibes coming from that room there.
Definitely.
Confidence.
And he talked about being happy with their level of discipline. That all continues to lead into what I think is going to be a very strong showing out of them against Carolina. Some people think it's a trap game. Some people think you're going to blow them out. Maybe it's going to be close. I just think they're going to play well in all facets of the game. And you know what I was thinking about when he was talking about that? And actually, when you were talking about their run game, and it hadn't even hit me yet, but like, Deuce Staley is now over there as their running backs coach. Remember the battles that he and Aaron Glenn would have on Hard Knocks during training camp, where they're on the practice field just jawing at each other.
That just reminded me.
Like, neither one of them. Deuce Staley wants to do exactly what Carolina did to the Lions last year again this year, and Aaron Glenn wants to absolutely hand it to Deuce Staley.
It's literally a head-on-head matchup.
Head-on-head.
You literally have the running back room that you have to stop Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn trying to stop the run.
Yes.
If the NFL or the Detroit Lions or whoever is kind of in charge of miking players up, I think the NFL does it at different games. If they don't
mic those two up.
If they don't mic up Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn, that's a huge miss.
Yeah, if they're too focused on Taylor Swift to put mics on those two gentlemen.
I might email them.
What?
I might email them.
I'll do it with petition. Petition.
I truly think that we need that. Steve Wild said Staley's the clown. I liked Staley when he was here, man.
He's a good dude. He would still be with us. He had to go. He's taking care of a family member who's ill
down in Carolina.
And look on the bright side, we got Scotty Montgomery, who is an incredible coach, who's taking over that running back room. But Booner, we got more videos from AG.
Yes, we do. So the next one here, this one's actually really sweet, and I kind of accidentally cut it off at the beginning when I sent it in. But Aaron Glenn, we talked about this whole Aiden Hutchinson thing, right? Like, we had these conversations about Aiden Hutchinson all week long, and about how can he be a pro, all pro? Can he be in the Defensive Player of the Year award? Aaron Glenn came out today, and you were at the press conference because it's not in the video. He basically compared Aiden Hutchinson to Cam Jordan over in New Orleans.
Yeah, and there's an Aiden Hutchinson video where he brings up Michael Strahan in a comment that he made too. So some of these names are really good comps.
Yes.
Actually, not like really good player comps, like in terms of how they play the game, but just to have that comparison level from Aaron Glenn.
Woo. Yep, and then here's Aaron Glenn talking about Aiden Hutchinson. Right before this, he mentioned Cam Jordan. He was like, he reminds me of a guy over in New Orleans that I coached, Cam Jordan. Gotcha. And then he says this right after.
When it comes to understanding, just mentally, just on another level. And Hutch is no different than that player. And those players don't come around too often. But in the first 2 years, he's been that type of guy. You know, obviously you want to manage him, but sometimes the players like, listen, coach, I can go. And that's just who he is. And man,
it's just who he is.
It's who he is. It's that mentality, man.
What a cornerstone.
That's the piece that you want on your defense, a defensive end like that, like a guy that.
He's so good. He's special, man.
I hope he's gonna. Sam Flannel says it all the time. He's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his career. And me and him had the exact same stat line kind of projected for him: 15 sacks this year, and that's expected in my opinion.
Amen.
You're at 3.5 already. You're on track for 15 exactly.
All right. You guys have any comments on Aiden Hutchinson?
Tone setter. He sets the tone on the defensive end. You need a guy like that if you're going to compete late in the season for the playoffs. It's kind of like Penei Sewell on the offensive line, but it's just the defensive line, and we are so lucky to have those two guys.
Yeah, just that turnaround from Aaron Glenn. Jalen, you got any comments on Glenn or Hutchinson, or really anything about that defense?
The defense is getting better every week, every play. I think Hutch is just starting to break out. Like, we've seen Hutch, take over games, stuff like that, but they're double teaming him, they're holding him. Every week, as a D lineman or however you play, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna know, okay, let me jump this side, let me go that side, right? They're double teaming and stuff like that. He's gonna probably have 15 sacks this year. He'll be all pro eventually, DPOY, but Hutch is still young, you know what I mean? So like those double teams, he's gonna break those, get a sack at least one time a game or so, because the more you play, the more you understand, okay, this is what they're doing, okay, let me one up that. Just it's a mental thing for him, you know what I mean? And he's starting to get it more mature. He's energetic. Like, you want that guy on your line and set the tone. That front four is crazy, man.
Yeah, I see you guys playing off a tone setter, set the tone.
Is that the key word? Is that the key word for the day?
Keyword, Cam Sutton. Shout out Cam Sutton.
Word of the day, set the tone.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, but I'm with it. Like, he's that next piece, and what do we talk about all the time? It's that year two jump.
Jump.
Didn't just call for 15 sacks at the beginning of the season for nothing. is genuinely think you need to take that year 2 jump. He literally spoke. Aiden Hutchinson went and spoke with J.J. Watt on how J.J. Watt went from year 1 to year 2 and went and set that tone and kind of got that like, what did he do to get to that year 2? Where I think, what did J.J. Watt have? 20-something sacks?
He had a lot that second year in
second
Houston.
year, Defensive Player of the Year in his second season.
If he could have only stayed healthy.
Imagine if Hutch ends up just going out there and just balling out and ends up getting like 17, 18 sacks.
Yeah, like Mike Jones.
Oh my gosh, that would be something.
Who? Mike Jones. 281-330-8004.
Oh boy.
Last one here though. Last video, the AG thing, is the AG about the fire AG stuff.
Yeah.
And that's been the struggle here. And I know, shout out Easy too, because Easy's been on the defend the Glenn stand. And he's been putting out the apology forms for AG.
He also had Andy Reid as the number 7 head coach in the NFL.
Who did?
Easy.
Oh, did he? Some of those lists. But still, like, the fire AG stuff, and he shut it down quick. Here's AG, though, talking about it. Someone asked him about, hey, how are you feeling about the fire AG stuff that's going around the fan base after the Seahawks game?
I'm assuming you heard it. How much did you hear the fire AG? AG's got to go. You know, you were a player. I'm sure you were no stranger to criticism.
Man, I've been the toughest media market in the world, and a lot of times, you know, that's just white noise to me. It's really funny, but man, we keep going. I mean, just as a player, man, I played one of the hardest positions there is in this league, and once you get beat, you're the worst thing there is. You know, once you give up yards or as a coach, you're the worst thing there is, and it's just part of it. Listen, we're in the business of criticism, and that's not going to change.
That's that last line for me. He gets the businesses he's in. We feel some tension sometimes when he's really getting ragged on. When any coach is getting ripped apart, I'm sure they're feeling that in Chicago. But he realized they get it. Like just one more little notch in the maturity belt of these coaches. You love to hear it, man.
Yeah, and to just like it's white noise, and he just doesn't listen to it. And when you're in that position and you're the DC, like you just can't do that. You can't think about it. You can't, that's just something you have to leave out of your head there.
Yeah. Let's go to break. Let's talk about Planet Fitness, and we'll play some player videos. It's weird. Hutch and Amon-Ra, they had some clips that they could tie in right with what their coaches were saying. It was hard not to bring them up. But Booner, tell them about that.
Yes, sir. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, full body workouts in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this, everything I just talked about, for just $1 down and $10 a month, just no commitment. Now through October 13th, $1 down and $10 a month, no commitment. That is over at Planet Fitness. Go over to the local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com to get that deal there where your fitness is essential.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
When it comes to your pet, dogs, cats, frogs, iguanas, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They're family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations and over 60 brands of food. They've got the lowest prices and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
John Fox came up to me in camp and he was telling me when Michael Strahan broke the sack record that like half of his sacks were on the interior. After I heard that, I kind of just committed to it. And I was like, all right, screw it, dude. I'm gonna just listen to the old man and and do it.
There it was, John Fox. He was talking about John Fox. He's the Lions' special assistant on defense, but he's a veteran head coach in the league. The Bears, the Broncos, the Carolina Panthers. He's one of those unsung coaching assets that the Lions have that you sometimes forget about, but that is huge. That is huge. I
a guy like him
on that fire. Like if we're not firing AG, but like if AG were to have gotten fired, we got someone like John Scott Jr., the defensive line coach, John Fox, who could step right in as like a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and to me too, just that story there for Hutch, just to be able to hear things like that, and it's not just to hear it, but the fact that they're telling, like he's going to tell him stuff about Strahan, like what he did, and like I just said, met with J.J. Watt. He's putting that in his head that he can do these things.
Yes,
it's not just something he's just hearing and they're just telling him just to tell him. They're literally sitting there and saying, Michael Strahan did this, 22 and a half sacks. This is something you should have in your head to be able to go break. And he's Aiden Hutchinson. I'm going to go to J.J. Watt and talk to him how he went all the way up to 20 sacks or 20-something sacks in his second season.
Yeah.
He's getting that put in his head. There's a reason he's fourth right now in the Defensive Player of the Year odds.
Yeah. And he's saying
he's on that level.
The key to that was that Strahan, when he broke that record, he got, I think the stat that John Fox gave him was there's more than half of his snaps were from the inside.
Yep.
And Aiden Hutchinson, he talked about being primarily, he's been primarily an edge rusher his entire career, but he's starting to get used to the inside. So he's talking about that, how did I tell it? Lining up inside Hutch and the things that he's learning now from that position.
Do you see Hutch too?
Yeah,
kind of
like
in the middle
around, because I can rush inside, and finally, I feel like I've got a lot of confidence with it this year compared to last year. And now it's something that I kind of want to do. If there's a not so great guard, I want to be the guy to line up on him and attack him and attack the weakness of the O-line. So I think it's just a lot more confidence this year on the edge, on the inside, everything that makes me very versatile. Rushing as a 3 tech, it's tight spaces and everything hits a lot faster, and they've kind of given me a little freedom that I can stand up and kind of just freestyle a little bit. So that's where I feel like I'm at my best, is when I can just go and not think. I honestly just feel like I've accepted it a little bit. I don't think for a while I didn't want to accept it, and I kind of just said, F it, dude, I'm here, and it's like, might as well just go. And I feel like it was just a mindset change more than a move learned.
That's what I'm talking about out of your defensive star, your second overall pick.
Yes. I literally, while all this was going, I looked at Broder. I was like, this is literally what Myles Garrett's been doing for Cleveland. Those elite guys in the league, Nick Bosa moving around, these guys are moving around because they're finding the weak spots of the offensive line. They're going to look at the weak spots, and they're putting Hutch in the best position. It's not like, hey, you just have to be on this side of the line or be on the edge. No, you're finding the weak spots of that offensive line, and you're putting your best player up against their worst player.
Yes.
And you're telling him, go dominate their worst player. Go get us 3 sacks tonight and go get us a fumble and do that. And Hutch has been great. He's like, we saw it in Green Bay. He was literally sitting in the middle doing what Myles Garrett was doing, sitting there,
crossover,
the crossover,
Jamal,
going back and forth over the nose, like just going back and forth. So he was doing that, and it changes the game so much. It doesn't just put Hutch in those best positions. It puts all of those other pass rushers, John Kaminsky, Aleem McNeil, every single guy is getting put in the best position because Hutch is able to open up and do that. And last thing with that,
no.
Do you guys all remember last year too when he was down in that little 3-point stance? And when he made that turn was when they opened him up and they said, no, go off, like stand up and go be you. This is that next level to where it's, hey, stand up, be you, but also we're going to move you around wherever you want on the line. Your freedom, go play.
Hey, Boone, to your point about, getting better as like a D-line and stuff like that, this is a crazy one, but like if you guys from the Vikings from like, 15 years ago when Jared Allen was playing. I think it was Pat Williams and like Kevin Williams. The two, like they were in the middle. You had Jared, I think he was a left end or right end. I know it was one of them. He would always get off because they'd always pinch, Pat and Kevin. So I feel like now in the middle we have two good guys. You got Aleem, you got Charles, whoever's in there, Kaminsky. Aiden's gonna get that outside interior space to pressure the quarterback or sack him. But if they pinch the two nose tackling, stuff like that, we'll be good to go. And I think that's gonna happen as soon as we get better. Because everyone on our D line is getting better by the year. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting.
I forgot about Jared Allen. That's a good comp.
It is.
But it's funny, you guys were both talking, and I don't think you knew what video was coming next, but talking about how that brings the best out of the players around him and how the different things that they're doing on defense are leading to this #1 rush defense in the entire NFL. So, Jalen, if you could play another short video, Hutch talking about the rush defense.
Are we leading the league? Yeah. That's the secret of the league. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like every week we accept the challenge, and I feel like everyone's just doing their job and executing at a high level when we get in the games. And I don't think there's too much secret sauce to it. I feel like teams have been leaving the run game a lot early against us because we're stopping it so well. So it's very beneficial for our pass rush too. We can stop the run. So it really, all around the board, I think we're just executing at a high level, and everyone's doing their jobs, especially in the front seven with the run game. And our DBs fitting in the C gaps and wherever. So I think it's a culmination of a lot of different things. When those gaps are constricted and stuff, and as you're an edge rusher, and let's say you have a two-way go and you pick one, like there's always going to be when you're rushing 4, there's 6 gaps, so there's always going to be gaps open. But when that interior is pushing the front and pushing everything, it constricts and it makes everyone's jobs a lot easier. I think that's what they're doing, and they're doing a really good job of it. Because we've all been very productive these last few games.
So I wanted to include a little, he got kind of deep into some X and O's and the type of 3 technique and rushes that he was doing. But I wanted to make the point of him talking about how it's just the different guys on his line, his teammates, and the execution, their continuity in trusting each other is bringing out the best in the people next to them, all the way back to the defensive backs.
Yeah, it helps me confidence. The fact, too, that he didn't even know that they were leading the league in rushing defense, it shows that the tunnel vision that these guys have, that is what you want. Like, obviously, you would like him to know a little bit, like, hey, you guys are dominating, keep dominating. They obviously feel that and know that. But for him not to know that, it's crazy. Like, their tunnel vision, they're like, hey, we're next game. Don't care about the last stats. Next game. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Aaron Glenn's probably going in there and saying, this is what's working, this is what's not. Don't care about what we're ranked in the NFL. Because guess what? We were ranked 32nd in defense last year, and still we're just 1 game out of the playoffs. So if you go out there and dominate in defense and you don't even think about the rankings or anything, everything will take care of itself.
Yeah.
And that's what he explained there. It's like, hey, when we have everyone on the same page, guys are filling the right gaps, guys are making the right plays, everything will take care of itself. You don't have to worry about sitting there trying to make up and do all these. So
they're still hungry. And we're going to play a clip after you do a pregame read on Amon-Ra speaking from the offensive side of the ball. But you can start to see the similarities in these veterans. And I'll call Aiden Hutchinson a veteran just for this point. But these second, third-year players are starting to understand and not take anyone for granted. But tell them, Boone.
Yes, Woodward Sports Lions pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Look at that. Jeff Frady Hollywood. He's probably watching the show right now, I would think. But hosted by him and weekly special guests. This week it will be Ryan Ermanni, and it'll be myself in the Tom Mazaway chair. Maz Jr. sitting in the Maz chair. Sundays, 9:30 to 11:30. If you guys tune in for all of the breakdown of the games, injuries, everything you need before the Lions games, make sure you guys tune in this Sunday on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel at 9:30.
Oh, yeah. So, Jalen, can you play that clip? Amon-Ra on the Lions being far from perfect.
I gotcha. Let me see here. Is that the one where he questions golf? Is that the one you got?
Nope, that's about golf. It might be like right above that on the Lions being far from perfect.
I gotcha.
It's basically, I'm going to play it over my voice. When you start, I'll stop talking. When it's him talking, he was asked, how close is this offense to being perfect? And he gave his response.
It's loading up right now, boys.
Yeah, all good. And it was just a classic Amon-Ra, a sun god, classic Amon-Ra response. You can just feel the toughness coming out of them.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's get it.
Let's get it.
I think we're far from perfect. We got a lot to work on, a lot to do, and that's what I think makes this game so great. Every week you can have a really good game, maybe blow a team out or you can lose, and there's always stuff you can get better at. And that's something that I love about this sport is you're always chasing something. You can never be the best, and that's what I love about the game.
I love that response. You're always chasing. That's where this young core, to be honest, let's be honest, this Detroit Lions young core, they're hungry. They know what they want. They want to win, and they want to keep chasing what they're doing right now. They want to get better and better every day. One of the coaches talked about it today, that these guys, they go out there and work every single day, and they're just keep getting, I think it was Aaron Glenn, there's always room for improvement, and that's the good thing about this Detroit Lions team right now, is that they're playing 3-1 football, most likely should have been 4-1, and they still are sitting there, and players still want to find ways to improve and find ways to get better and better and better. And that's what Amon-Ra St. Brown just basically said there to me, was, hey, we're always looking for ways to get better. We're always looking to improve. And this young core, Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, not young core, but Jared Goff, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch,
keep going,
Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. These guys are just wanting to get better and better, and it shows. And that's why the Lions are having this success right now. It's because these guys are hungry.
And they have another speedster coming back. I know we're hitting you guys a lot of videos right now. I just got 2 left, but this is a fun one. He's talking about, Amon-Ra's talking about Jameson Williams and his speed, his lightning quick wheels.
Ooh. Let's go.
He looks good. He looks fast, explosive. His speed is something that stands out right away. You got to respect it, especially, corner safeties. They got to, if you can't run 4.2, you better start backing up because you can run 4.2. So I think just that in itself opens up a lot of stuff for us, maybe underneath even more, because you got to respect the speed at the end of the day. You can run, you can do all type of things with him. So just having him on our team back, it feels great. We're excited. I know the coaches are too. So it's gonna be a fun year going forward with him.
I just had to play. You could feel that excitement. The grin, he couldn't even control it. And cornerback, you got to run a 4.2, or otherwise you better start moving backwards. I want to talk more about Jameson Williams in this. We're going to be talking about the Carolina Panthers preview in the next. But just to get to this last video on Goff, there's actually a question I asked Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then you have a graphic after this.
Yes.
We have a little bit of a Goff conversation, but basically, my question's in this video, so I'll let you hear what was asked. Let's go. How about that?
What's it mean to you and your fellow receivers to have a quarterback like Jared Goff that's so accurate, not just hitting you in stride, but also keeping you out of danger when you're coming across the middle of the field?
Yeah, I'm fortunate. We're fortunate. I can't remember. I haven't been hit too many times on one of those, across the middle, like you said. That's just a testament to him making good decisions for us, taking care of us. He can see the field better than we can when we're running certain routes. Looking back at him, he can see what's out in front of us. So he does a great job of keeping us, trying to keep us upright, throwing the ball away from defenders, and not throwing it, into some traffic, like you said, some bad situations. So we're just fortunate to have him, definitely.
First of all, there's definitely people playing ping pong in the back there.
Y'all hear that too?
There's ping pong going on. Broder, do you know who that was?
Yeah, it's a rotating group, but today Alex Anzalone was playing Graham Glasgow.
Oh, I want to know who.
Normally Anzalone and Derek Barnes play. Anzalone's pretty darn good.
Really?
He's a good ping pong player.
I'm not good at it, but I will challenge you, Alex Anzalone. I'm bad.
Booner will.
Booner versus Alex Anzalone. I think the world wants it. I think the whole Lions fan base wants Booner versus Alex Anzalone in ping pong. I might get like 21-0 for real. If we're being honest.
You lose?
I'm not that great at ping pong.
All right.
I'll beat you though. Remember, Booner doesn't lose.
Bugs is pretty good at pool too. Or I should say billiards.
Do they have that in the locker room?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I'll dust both you boys in pool.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nick
I said
sipping
it.
on an espresso martini and playing pool.
Oh, not a chance. Give me a nice ice cold Coors Light. No free sponsorships.
Shout out, no free shout out.
Oh my god, that was awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you want to ever call out a spot, do that, but that was so funny. No free sponsorships.
That was funny. That's what Bust with the Boys does.
Yeah, that segment, a great segment too. It's funny. But the Jared Goff thing with the great question by you too, by the way, because that's something that I think me and you might have talked about before, or even in the stream we've talked about how Jared Goff keeps those guys out of danger and puts it on the right when it needs to be there to make sure they're able to catch it. defender's still away, and they're able to make a play out of it. And let's have this Jared Goff conversation real quick.
Yeah.
Are we a little over here on the break?
Let's
couple
roll.
minutes. Let's just have this thing real quick.
Yeah, let's just
Jalen,
roll.
can you pull up this graphic? I found this. I just popped up on one of my Instagram today. Jared Goff quarterback ranks in the NFL right now. Completions, second. Passing yards, second. I don't know if this is actually true here. There's no way he's second in passing yards.
Why not?
I'm starting to question my own self.
You read it off. I'll double check while you're on air.
He's had 200 in almost every game. I'm pretty sure.
He has 1,029, but
go over the other ones. I'll
go
double
over
check
the
for
other
you right
ones.
here.
Yeah, let's double check that real quick. I might have gotten us there for a second. But average yards a game, third in the NFL right now, and over there passing touchdowns tied for fifth. Jared Goff, to be honest, let's just think about this too. And anyone in the chat that might still have that doubt of Jared Goff, one of the biggest Jared Goff haters, and who's been on my shows that I did before here at Woodward Sports, is our one and only Speakeasy. It's easy, baby.
It's easy, baby.
Easy's been one of the most biggest critics of Jared Goff the last few years.
Yes.
And he came out on the show today, and he gave Jared Goff his props. So if you guys were watching the heavyweights, he came out and gave him his props for it. And he said, hey, listen, at this point, there's nothing you can do. He's out there. He's competing. Yes, he's thrown 3 interceptions. What does he do right after that? Comes back, touchdown.
Resilience.
Touchdown. Every time. Resilience. He overcomes it all the time, and you could just see from those stats there, if you go look at it, he's basically top 6, top 7 in every quarterback category. His team's 3-1. Last year, he was top 5 in almost every single quarterback category, and he almost led the Lions to the playoffs after a 1-6 start. Jared Goff is that guy right now for the Lions. I'm just sitting here waiting, and you could probably go find clips of me in the past saying, oh, don't give him 45, don't give him 50. I'm 50, no. 45, I'm just waiting to get the notification on my phone that the Detroit Lions extended Jared Goff for 2 or 3 more years.
Wow.
Waiting for it.
Wow.
Because the success that the Lions are having right now, it's on part of it is on him.
Sunshine.
Leadership and as well as the statistics. Nick, I know you had something there.
Yeah, one of the things Easy pointed out was him taking the extra yards on the ground, which he's never done in the Lions uniform before. That's what they really enjoyed seeing. It was him pick up those 5 yards that are easily there for him if he just wants to go out there.
If I'm not mistaken, he missed one in the Kansas City game early on that he might have even thrown it into one of the offensive linemen, but it was it the Seattle game? But he's done it.
It was the 4th down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So that's a good call out by you guys.
Can you just do a poll real quick, just yes or no? Do you want to extend Jared Goff? Do you want the Detroit Lions to extend Jared Goff this year, right now?
The 7th leading passer in the NFL.
I hope they do, because I had a take about that early, so I hope they do.
I just want them to get it done at this point. Because what's going to happen, and this was the situation that I spoke about on a previous show earlier this season, was it's either they extend him now and get him cheaper, or they're going to have to wait till the end of the year after the Lions win a playoff game, win the NFC North. He's top 5 in the NFL statistically wise, and he's able to bring that to the Brad Holmes, and he's able to be like, hey, look it, this is my stats right now. This is where I'm at. I'm top 5 in the NFL in all these stats. Our team just went 12 and 5, and we just went to the playoffs. I won you the first NFC North since 1990 something, and we just won the first playoff game at Ford Field. Then you have to pay him $50+ million. And let's just do it now. You know what he can do. He's done it with the Rams. He's done it with the Lions. Get the job done.
Give him some, I don't want to say team-friendly contract, but a time-friendly contract where it's not outrageous to maybe he's tradable.
That Geno contract, you remember that Geno contract? They front-loaded it.
1 year guaranteed.
So they're able to pay other guys, and it's 1 year guaranteed, but it's a 2 or 3 year contract. There's incentives. You front-load it so that you pay them now before you have to start paying these other guys. Maybe do something like that, but you need to.
Hooker.
Brad and Holmes needs it. Well, the thing with Hooker too,
I love hookers,
is if you extend Goff for 2 more years, that gives Hooker time. And I know he's old and he's a couple years younger, but you still have a very, very good backup. And if Hooker ends up being something, if you front load the contract, you have a little bit of money you owe Goff at the end.
It'd have to be like the perfect scenario though for Hooker though.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I feel like if we do anything what we think we're gonna do the next 2 years, Goff would be 30, I think, but Hendon Hooker would be like 28. So it's like we bring him in there, and like it's not that big of a difference. So like if the scenario is perfect for Hooker, like bring him in. But if not, like I just don't see why trade your franchise quarterback, which Jared Goff is a franchise quarterback and will be much better the next couple of years. Why trade him for a guy that we haven't seen yet? And Hendon Hooker could be a great quarterback maybe, or a great backup. But I just don't want to. I don't want to mess it up to where we just throw Goff away. I don't like that idea.
Do you know what's interesting too? This was a point that Easy made in the offseason, and it was a very, 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 very solid point. Was year one, Ben Johnson wasn't calling plays.
Mm-hmm.
Year two, Ben Johnson steps in and helps. There is that side to where you have a Ben Johnson, and they sat down in that offseason and restructured that. But I know we have to go to break here.
These are all arguments.
6 minutes over the break
against me, and those are the arguments I had for him because Ben Johnson is coming back, because this is his first time playing with the same OC and quarterback coach in back-to-back seasons. All this shit I've been saying for months. Christ, tell him about him.
It's all facts too, right?
It's all facts. Yeah.
Was this a thing that you and Easy were going back and forth on?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know how against Jared Goff he's been.
I've always been realistic on both sides of it.
Oh, Switzerland.
The middleman. But Hamlin Pub, baby, right? Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head over to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular at. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday, which is today. Go get your half-off pizza right now. Go get it. Or game day specials available during Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. Listen, go get a pizza right now at Hamlin Pub. Half off tonight.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this fall has already been amazing. Fall is also a perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro at Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. But we are going to get into the Detroit Lions versus Panthers. Let's get right into it here. We're going to kind of get into the game plan here. I faced a question here, and make sure again you guys hit that like button if you haven't already.
Bars.
I think we got a good amount of people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get to 75 before the end of this segment. But the Panthers, Broder. I want to kind of get your viewpoint here. We've got about 5 more minutes until the next break already. But I know the Jared Goff stuff really threw us off there a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little Goff.
It was great, though. That was a great conversation.
We went Goff script.
A little Goff. Okay,
yeah,
love
right.
it. But the game plan here, I kind of wanted to see what because tomorrow we're going to go all in on this Panthers game. We're going to go over breakdown, matchups, all of that. What is the game plan here on your end? What do you feel? You've been in Allen Park a little bit. Is it just going to be more so like the Green Bay game where it's, hey, just ground and pound?
Well, I don't know. I got to channel my my inner Adam Cheap imitation that PA Proud says in the chat.
What is that?
It's, I don't know, just someone who wakes up and chooses violence. I think they just have to stick to their same identity that that's been coming out of them the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They need to dominate the run game, which means start the game off, hand it off to David Montgomery. Then they need to start getting into a rhythm of their offense, whether that means working in Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, seeing a little more out of Khalif Raymond, seeing some of these other pieces. And I say this with the thought maybe it's the second half and they've got a little bit of a lead. They can try some things. But to start, they need to dominate up front. They need to dominate the run game with their offensive line. On the flip side, keep doing what they're doing in the rush game on defense. Yes, Adam Thielen and DJ Chark are I don't want to call Adam Thielen a weapon. They're good players, so they need to be worried about. But if you stop Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard, those are the big ones. So they need to stop the running backs.
And I put that in here. Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard. Those are the two guys that not last year with Miles Sanders, but more so Hubbard. And Deontay Foreman, those were the two guys that really went off against you last year. And I was very interested here to kind of see a stat to where the Lions did play versus the Eagles last year, and they played versus Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
So they've gone up against him, and I'm pretty sure Miles Sanders had a game last year. I know Jalen Hurts did. Yeah, Miles Sanders, 13 carries, 96 yards, 7.4 yards per carry versus the Lions defense last year. And obviously, you could say it's easy to say. Obviously, that offensive line in Philly is number one in the NFL.
Shout out Lane Johnson.
Yeah, so they're number one in the NFL, and you're behind that. We see what DeAndre Swift's doing with that offensive line. That's number one to me, though. Is I do know we're the number one rush defense. Use that to your advantage. Don't let them do what they did last year. Set the tone. Stop the run. Enforce your run game. And right off the bat, your offense has to go get points right away. You have to at home. You have to go get a 10-0 lead, 14-0 lead. Get a score, get a stop, get another score, and just set the tone just like we did in Green Bay.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
Also, don't let Bryce Young get any confidence. Don't be the team that sort of propels him into what everyone thought he was going to be, that number one pick. Treat him like Desmond Ridder. Treat him like Jordan Love.
Don't let him get comfortable.
Exactly. We want to see Bryce Young's jersey dirty at the end of that game. He needs to be on the ground.
That's something, and I'm just going to throw out there the same old Lions people, same old Lions. That's something in the past that the old Lions teams would do, is let a rookie quarterback go out there and get his first big game.
Yeah.
This is brand new. This is a new Lions defense, new Lions team. Cut it out. They're going to stop Bryce Young. He might get a little something here and there just because he's Bryce Young and he was the first quarterback off the board for a reason.
These are good tests with these mobile quarterbacks. They've done well with them the last weeks, and that's been the Achilles heel of Detroit Lions defenses for as long as I've been alive. And we're getting ready for Lamar Jackson coming to town. Justin Fields, we play twice still. We got mobile quarterbacks all over the place on this schedule.
Yep.
They've done a decent job thus far.
Yeah, because remember last year to start the year?
We couldn't... The quarterbacks were the leading rushers on all the teams.
It's crazy.
Not named Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, it was insane. Like Jalen Hurts did whatever he wanted. It was brutal. Even the two Chicago games, Justin Fields ran all over us. Still won the game, but it was just
Lamar Jackson had a big game.
You just can't. You have to stop. You have to stop it. And I think they will tomorrow. I think they will Sunday. I almost said tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the game now.
You have to slow it down.
I'm ready to go full.
Like you're smoking on some indica from Dispo, some Couch.
You know what I can't wait for?
What?
I just can't wait to do the Kool-Aid video again after the game Sunday.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about drugs.
Where do you get your Kool-Aid from?
It's a secret sauce. I can't get. I'll tell you after the show.
You always have a cup on standby. I'm curious to know.
I've got some secret sauce.
Broder has secrets.
Yeah, I do. I'll tell Jalen. I'll tell the boys after, but I can't tell the people. That's the winner's Kool-Aid there. That's the winner's Kool-Aid.
Facts. Like Dispo Romeo, where they have that indica that I was talking about. A team that curates an exclusive atmosphere. They've mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. The first ever cannabis mall of its kind is conveniently located off of Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. Dispo Romeo is now open late night until midnight every night except for Sunday. Can it get any better than that? Definitely not. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com. They are your local cannabis plug.
Dispo.
Plug.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to win a $100,000
Vegas
give it
getaway?
To me. Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. I'm
Never
Ron
sleeps.
Burgundy. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100K Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. And you can buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best versions of themselves. That is drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Listen! The Detroit Lions are here to stay. They're not messing around. They're the Kings of the North, contenders. Let's go, drinking the Kool-Aid again. Let's go!
There we go. Drinking the Kool-Aid, man. We had to throw that up there.
Yeah.
And no, the diabetes thing, I keep seeing that in there. I can guarantee. Jalen knows the secret sauce now. I heard it on the commercial. We can confirm the diabetes is not going to happen. The diabetes is gone.
Diabetes.
Jalen, can we confirm that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So and Britt from IA said, Booner, this is where you almost waterboarded yourself. Yes, I almost did. If you guys slow the video down, I have a screenshot. I sent it to Ryan Lentz in the back. I literally, there's a part of the video where I'm drinking it and it realized I can't breathe and I was about to die, I think, and just Kool-Aid just starts squirting out of my nose.
No.
It was like I almost died there.
Squirter.
But with that, yeah, Broder, chill out, man. With that, there's a team out there who's probably never going to feel that and kind of have that for a long, long time. And that is the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, I don't know if you guys watched today, but Stephen A. Smith came out and he said that the Chicago Bears are worse right now than the 0-16 Detroit Lions team. And it's kind of crazy that we're talking about it now because they are winning at halftime.
By a lot, right?
By a lot.
What is it, 28-3?
28-3, but I promise you.
It's fitting.
I promise you Washington covers a +7.5.
I bet you Washington wins this game.
Probably.
They come back. This is a bad Bears team.
This is why they pay Eric Bieniemy the big bucks.
Yes.
Seriously. This is Sam Howell, prove yourself right now.
They better turn it around here.
They should not be this bad.
We literally had this we had this at 9:30, 9:15 to talk about how the Chicago Bears are worse than the 0-16 Lions and Stephen A. Smith. And as we're about to do the segment, you look up at the screen and the Chicago Bears are winning by almost 20 points. How does that happen? What are we doing? Come on, Commanders.
When the Lions were first, I believe they were 0-15. I was at the 16th game of the season at the Silverdome. They ended up winning. I think it was the Vikings. I went with my dad, I believe. I was a young lad.
You said that was at the Silverdome?
The Silverdome.
I don't believe it was.
One game. I've only been to one game. This was in the 90s.
Oh, okay. But I thought you meant the Ofer year.
No.
I was
they avoided the first Ofer, and then this happened 10 or 12 years later.
What a stretch, man.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things here with this, and I want to kind of go around the room actually with this one because, I mean, I was young enough to remember the 0-16 and all of that. Just wasn't like all the way into where I could like sit here and name every player on the team, all of that. But just being able to compare a team like this, the Bears right now, if you guys remember the preseason and all offseason, I was one of the advocates that the Bears weren't going to be that good this year. And it seemed like 90% of the NFL world and fan base was advocating for Justin Fields. Oh, this is his MVP breakout year. This is where the Bears take that turn. They went and paid $800 million for linebackers. They went and drafted some offensive linemen. They went and got and traded for DJ Moore. They did this. They did that. Who cares? I don't care. No one cares. Lions fans don't care. FTB. We don't care about the Bears. They're terrible. Jalen, if you could real quick, there's a thing I put up there. It says the Bears have lost blank many games in a row. Do you see that one there?
Maybe not. Let's see, huh?
It's one of the tweets here.
I got that one.
So let's go. We can start with
I got
that.
another one. Hold on. I like this one better.
He looks sad.
This is the one.
Yeah.
The Bears have lost 14 straight games in a row dating back to last season, which is a franchise record. Their last win came against the Patriots on Week 7 of 2022. And then obviously under the Bears win tonight, which they are up currently, but Coach Matt Eberflus his job could potentially be on the line. And I think right now, if we're being completely honest, there was a scenario that I kept seeing people tweet out that if the Bears get blown out, Matt Eberflus he's done. The scenario that's happening right now, though, is if the Bears give up this lead, Matt Eberflus might not be on the team playing on the way home.
I would fire him even if they win.
Really?
Yeah, just move on.
I don't know if you could do that after a win.
Start anew.
I'm with you. Him and Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Get them both out of there.
I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. I'll be quick with mine. I think this Bears team shouldn't be as bad as they are. I think the organization just kind of they're struggling right now. Things aren't fitting. They spend a lot of money on linebackers. They have weapons. They got DJ Moore and
Yes.
some good wide receivers. Justin Fields has a ton of potential. It's just not all clicking. And the Lions, they didn't have the same route. They did have Calvin, which is hard to move past. But Dan Orlovsky was the quarterback. Love him now, one of my favorite analysts of all time. But they didn't have that juice. That defense was horrible. So I just feel like the Bears should be better.
27-3.
27-3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna blow this game. I'm calling it.
This current one?
No, I hope so though. I'm going up against DJ Moore and Justin Fields in fantasy. I just realized, so that's horrible. I just think the Bears were so overrated coming into this year, and they just fell flat on their face. I really hope this doesn't start, the streak like Justin Fields talked about when he mentioned the Lions earlier in the year, because he has the talent. There's no questioning Justin Fields' talent. We've seen it in college. We've seen flashes in the NFL. I don't know if this is the team to get over the hump and do it, but they shouldn't be even in conversation of an 0-16 team or 0-17 now.
They should or shouldn't?
They should not be.
Okay.
They have way too much talent to be in that conversation, 100%. I believe.
Now, if they blow this game, and then Jalen, I'll ask you this too. If they blow this game, are you convinced they go 0-17? Is it like, okay, they're going 0-17? If they can't win a game, they're up 27-3 at the half?
I'll be honest, I just looking at the Lions team compared to this team, we were much worse. We were much worse than this team. Not a lot of talent. Rookie Calvin, shout out Deno. We had backup Dante Culpepper, you know what I mean? Our team wasn't in any shape or form ready to compete. But the Bears have DJ Moore, Justin Fields, Eddie Jackson, Khalil Herbert, guys like that, man. Darnell Mooney, it's just certain things like that where Tremaine Edmonds, who I think too. Their team is stacked. They just haven't figured it out yet. I don't think they go 0-16. They lose tonight somehow. I can see them going 3-14, 2-14, but they have way too much talent to be losing like this. But then again, though, who do they really match up with in the NFC? It's hard. A lot of veteran teams, stuff like that. But I don't think they'll be that bad. But they just need to figure it out because DJ Moore being there helps Justin Fields having a threat over there, things like that. So I don't want to put them down that bad, but it can happen.
Rod Marinelli believed in the invisible, and apparently the winds were the invisible in that 2008 season.
Yeah.
That was one of his famous quotes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shout out Rod Marinelli.
Yeah. Let him cook. Take the wind. Take the wind.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to do two back-to-back here real quick, fellas.
Back-to-back.
I'm just going to tell you guys real quick. Woodward and Main Street.
Hey.
Yes, Broder right here. The Woodward and Main Street, the Lions Insider Show. Make sure you guys tune into that. It's Tuesdays, 7 to 8 a.m. and this Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. early before the game. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. All of the breakdown of the game, insider information you need, injuries, all of that before a game. Make sure you guys tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then, let me tell you guys real quick about a good sandwich. If you guys need a good sandwich right before Big Boy or the game there, I think Jalen likes Big Boy. He was cheering over there. He gave me a little that. So Big Boy burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try the best cheeseburger or the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger on the screen there. Beautiful sandwich. Look at that thing. If you're craving chicken, try the Dolly chicken sandwich. Turn up the heat with the Bob's hot chicken sandwich. And if you're going to get fries, make sure you upgrade them to the chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries. Great French fries. Go try them. And for some dessert, right after to end the meal, make sure you... indulge in the Big Boy's Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake or satisfy your sweet tooth with the funnel cake fries. Listen, don't want to miss out. That's only at Big Boy, baby.
Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Downtown's newest sports bar, 5 Iron Golf. They have 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, bars and a restaurant. 5 Iron Leagues are back. You can compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Bring a foursome or sign up as an individual, and you can be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. Use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. Again, that's 5irongolf.com to sign up.
Here we go. Listen, and if you join the league, you'll get to probably play with some of us because I was over there today with Hollywood, Lucas, Gentry, Big Mike Gentry.
Mike G.
We were playing in the league today, which was pretty fun. So
you and Gentry were carrying the team.
It was actually a two-man scramble, so it was me and Lucas versus Gentry and Jeff. Gentry did carry that team. Yeah. I'll say that. But welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. If you guys can, real quick, hit that like button. We're a little behind right now. Make sure you guys, if we get to 75 by the end of this and 100 by the end of the show, we'll love that. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Not a new segment here, but we're gonna transition. We talked Lions the whole show. This is kind of a very interesting thing that came out this morning. The Michigan Wolverines and the Big Ten, they released their schedule. And we could talk about the Michigan State one, but more so on Michigan's side because obviously right now Michigan's #2 team in the country. They're on their way they're the second favorite to win the national championship. And when this schedule comes out, the one thing that everyone spoke about with Michigan football is how cupcake of a schedule that they have. Next year, night and day difference. I think next year Michigan might have probably the hardest schedule on the hardest schedule out of anyone in the country
in the history.
So this is the schedule here. Obviously, we know that different teams like Washington, Oregon, USC, different teams kind of came in. UCLA, a handful of teams came into the conference, and it got re-announced here because a couple months ago they announced actually the first original one, but with the new teams joining, they had to redo it and announce. So the Michigan Wolverines, fellas, they have 5 games next season versus current top 10 opponents.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
50% of the teams that are in the top 10 right now, Michigan will play next year. And that's, if you want to say Michigan's the 6th team. So really 5 out of the top 9 teams in the country right now, the Michigan Wolverines play next year. They play the Oregon Ducks at home next year.
That'd be fun.
USC at home. Ohio State on the road, and they go play Washington on the road. On top of that, they play the Texas Longhorns at home as well.
Hook 'em.
What a schedule.
Wow.
That's tough.
Caleb Williams, feel free to move on to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
Michael
excited
Penix.
for that Oregon game. I'm excited for that. Phil Knight versus Michael Jordan.
Everyone can move on. This is the thing to me, though, is this is where I kind of start to think about this, is you're probably going to end up dropping a game. You play 5 top 10 teams. It's hard. It's hard for anyone. Like maybe like a Bama has done it at one of the best college football teams when they were at their peak. Maybe they've done it. At some point, though, you're going to end up dropping one of these. That's a tough schedule. This brings me to my question here, and to the chat as well. Does this make this season, and Nick, I'll go to you first, does this make this season's Michigan team that much more of a must-win national championship? A national championship or bust? Because now next year you go into this.
In my eyes, I already thought that this was natty or bust with Corum, JJ. I believe this is JJ's last year, along with all of these other teams coming in. Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. This is the year to do it if you're Michigan. But next year doesn't scare me. It's the unknown of all of these great, talented teams without a quarterback. So that's why it's going to be so interesting to watch next year going into it. But I do think this is natty or bust even before the schedule came out.
Yeah, and this is the thing, too, as well. And I was speaking today with Brady in the back a little bit about this, is that college football playoffs does go to 12 next year. So if you play these teams, you can lose a game and still get in. And you probably, if you're Michigan, with the strength of your schedule, you probably can win or lose 2 games. You could probably drop 2 of those 5 games, and you're still able to get into that playoffs next year. And then once you get into that 12-team playoff next year, it's open for anyone. If you have a good football team, you can beat anyone. So that was where my positive energy kind of went, is, hey, there's 12 teams in the playoffs next year. You're going to be able to lose 2 games and still get in. Jalen, how do you, national championship bust, how do you feel about this schedule?
Well, for this year, like what Nick said, I think depending on how far Michigan goes, JJ will leave or not. If we go to the Natty, we come out and win, he's gone. If we go to the playoff and go to like the actual championship game, he's gone. If we don't make it to the championship game, he may, run it back just to see. But for those teams next year, Michael Penix will be gone. Like you said, Bo Nix will be gone. Caleb Williams, we hope, will be gone. But I don't see Michigan struggling because we're going to get the recruits. I think me and Broder mentioned this earlier. They're going to get the recruits. We're going to still be the most dominant school in the country, recruiting-wise, university-wise, everything like that. I just feel like Michigan...
Great head coach.
Michigan will still be Michigan. It'll just be more ass whoopings, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be the same way. I don't know how good USC and those West Coast teams will be next year, but I don't want to put it to where, like, we should be scared and worried because the key players now... They won't be there. We'll still have depth, though, but they won't have depth like us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, if you do take all of these teams and you rank them right now, Michigan still is the number 2 team in the country, and they're all behind Michigan.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you still have the better program right now. You still have the better team. I think it's just more so like the challenge of having that much more. Instead of just Ohio State and maybe Penn State, you're adding 5 more Ohio States potentially. They could obviously all drop off, but you're potentially adding that. So that's where my mind is with it. I'm excited for it though. I'm pumped.
I'm glad you said
better
that.
Football, better good football.
That's the one thing. I have no problem with Michigan's schedule this year. It's a cupcake schedule, but I do want to see more better college football, I should say. Just what you said. It seems like, and again, I was talking with Dominator and Coach Walk in the chat, with the transfer portal and everything, who knows what the landscape is like year to year.
Yes.
Like Washington could be trash next year. Who knows? But just the fact that these brands coming into Ann Arbor. And do you go to West Coast? Dominator said a night game on the West Coast. I'm paraphrasing here.
Oh, man, we're going to be up till 2 a.m., man. Oh.
Yeah, it's some new air, a new breath of fresh air.
You got to think, too, like I was looking at the schedule. We only play Washington away. So USC and Oregon, they have to come here. And it could be in November. It could be in December.
You're in the horseshoe next year, too.
They're going to have to just playing us in the cold. And I don't think Pac-12 teams are used to that because they never go anywhere, on the East Coast. So that's going to be hell for them, man.
One last positive out of this as well is what has Michigan been doing the last 2 years of the playoffs? Losing. Right, it just feels like they're not ready to compete with the Georgias. They haven't been. They go play TCU and kind of fall off. You know what this does for a program like Michigan? It sets you up to where the end of the season you've been tested and you know how to win those games.
Let him cook.
You're going through that early. You're going through that all season long. Just like the SEC teams, that's how they get so good. Is they're every single week they have to show up and be at their best if they want to be in the playoffs at the end of the year. It makes you have to be that much better. Challenges you that much more.
And with the expanded playoffs, you can afford to lose one game, where in these day and ages, you lose one, the season's over.
Even maybe 2, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of teams at the end of the season, if you look, they're sitting there with 2 losses in the top 12.
Yeah.
It's going to be mostly 2-loss teams, I believe, because with Bama and the SEC, with Texas and Oklahoma, into the SEC, I think it's going to be flooded with 2-loss teams. It's going to be who has the better resume when it comes down to it, Same here. I cannot wait for it.
I'm pumped for college football next year. I'm pumped to win a national championship there, Michigan. I don't have I ordered a Michigan hat today. I also ordered another Pistons hat. Shout out. But I'm going to tell you guys here so I don't have to wear a hat. Lady Jane, do you see that hair? It's a hat hair, but it's a great head of hair there. And a great haircut. Come over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Make sure to register to win a trip of your dreams. And all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You can bring me if you want. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market, Shed number 5, and it's going to be a bash. Starting at 9:30 a.m. until game time, it's the official Lions VIP tailgate. It's back, and it's better than ever. So come pregame with all your friends here at Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP. We got food, beverages, entertainment. It's a blast. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Let's go! We're back, baby. The Chicago Bears are about to blow a 30-point lead, hopefully. And we're about to go into mailbag here, fellas. And there is a good mailbag question, and we're about to get into it. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Hit that like button for us, please, if you haven't already, for this final segment for us. And make sure you tell a friend about the show. There was a good question, though, right off the bat. Broder.
Hit me. Who are we talking about?
Did you have that one already?
No, I got
Eric Burrow?
I got that one. Yeah, I got that.
Well, ask it. Somebody ask it.
I got you. So Eric Burrow in the chat asks, what rappers from Detroit are in our top 3? So who are our favorite and top 3 rappers from Detroit?
I'm gonna go 2.
While the camera's on you, go for it.
Ooh, right now I'll go V's, Babyface Ray, and Payroll. But if I go like old school, I'll go Street Lords, Doughboys Cash Out, and Band Gang, if y'all know that is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's my type of time.
All of them.
I'm just going to go 2 here. The 2 that I listen to like every day. Doughboys Cash Out. Woke up to the radio. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
every
Booner.
day I listen to Doughboys Cash Out. I love Doughboys Cash Out.
It's a banger.
And Sada Baby. Those are my 2 that I listen to. If you pull up to my car, those are 2 that you'd probably hear if I'm listening to it. So
I like it.
Bro,
shout out 42 Doug.
Oh, 42. Yeah, I like that one too.
What you got, Nick?
6 Mile East Warren. Let's go.
I do the more modern hip hop. I do like T Grizzly, but I'm a big Sean fan. He's my go-to. To be honest, Eminem is a goat. He's not my favorite rapper of all time. You gotta respect Eminem,
100%.
And the D12 guys.
One of the best.
Shout out Proof and D12, Mr. Porter, all those guys, man. Bizarre.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Hey, there is a good question here too.
Yeah,
Coach Walk. This was good, and I think I don't know if you've talked to JMO today, but he asked if you talked about JMO and whether he worked with the Pistons trainers.
I didn't. He was not available to talk, and I Coach Walk, I forgot to ask that question, but he wasn't available to talk. How come you keep that in mind, though?
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way we can find that out. Like if there's other...
Maybe Kool-Aid. Maybe we get our Pistons beat
that's a good one
reporter.
because he was at practice today.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid's been killing it, by the way. Shout out to Kool-Aid. Him and Lucas
awesome.
held
Shout
it
out
down on the
Kool-Aid.
desk for a week, and then Kool-Aid. I mean, the Pistons content's been coming through. It's been great.
Ooh, Steve Wilds. Yeah, I'm stealing this question. Steve Wilds says, what are Tigers' needs this offseason, and do they spend on a major free agents? I don't think they spend on major free agents. They do need to spend on some. They need 2 bats in the middle of that order, preferably 1 left-hander, and they need some more pitching. But I think they focus on the offense.
What did Scott Harris say this week? Do you remember that?
I don't. I might have missed it.
Scott Harris came out and said, "Listen, we're not going to spend money on big time players. We don't have the money for that. But we can spend money on play. Like we can't spend money to build a core right now, but we can spend money to surround your core with."
Yeah.
Basically, is what he said. Because you already have your core. Why would you go out and get big time guys when you already have Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green? You already have those dudes. So that's where Scott Harris is doing it the right way. That's the right way.
Yeah.
So, Detroit Dabber here, boys. Are any of the Woodward Sports Network peeps going to be at the Bullseye Tailgate Sunday? I may head there. You should head there for sure. We will have a crew there. Lucas will be there. Kool-Aid will be there. I'm trying to think who else will be there. We were going to do the live. We're doing the live show here. But they will be there doing interviews and things like that.
It's awesome down there. I'm not able to be there. I have to be at Ford Field, and we're recording Woodward in Maine that morning. But I went the very first time.
I did the show there.
So you're right. Yeah, you were doing it.
Beautiful.
It's really, really cool. So I'd recommend it.
You should head down there, and then maybe Dabber, maybe you can get an interview there with Lucas and them, and we'll play it on the pregame show here back at the studio. That's kind of how it's been working the last few weeks.
Also, Joshua Dunseth. I forgot about Danny Brown. I do like Danny Brown.
Man, that's a good one, boy.
So William Vanderswag mailbag. If Amon-Ra isn't playing this Sunday, who will Jared Goff use as his number 1 receiver?
Josh Reynolds. Sam Laporta.
I think, Laporta.
I just don't. Every time I just think he's just tight. I don't even think of wide receiver 1 with him. I just take Laporta out of it. Who is it? Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I'm with you.
J-Mo, maybe, to be honest. That might be a situation to where
I still think Laporta gets like the lion's share of the targets, but J-Mo just gets worked in as if he were Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, those guys with Amon-Ra on the field.
I like that question.
That's a good question.
What else do we have here? Make sure you guys keep dropping some credit. We have a couple more minutes. We'll do a couple more here.
Oh, yeah. Mailbag. Ask us anything. It could be Lions questions. I'll take baseball questions. Booner will take betting questions.
Whatever
Nick
y'all
will take
got,
mustache questions. Jaden will take Coach Prime questions or Andre Drummond questions.
Yes,
we'll take all of them.
And Rashid put in here, he said, first, Drake drops tomorrow. Drake was supposed to drop at midnight, and Chris texted a group here that
Rashid.
Drake pushed it back until 6 a.m.
It'd be
so he must still be working on it.
It'll be 6 a.m. Man. Shout out to Sheed, man. He's been in here like every day asking about music, man. Shout out to Sheed, man.
Shout out
to Sheed.
Yeah, Sheed.
Shout out.
He did ask another question. I'm sorry.
No,
I want to answer his second one here. Do the Lions win by double digits Sunday? I think they do, but like a 10-point, 14-point, 2-touchdown game. Some people are like 42-10, 42-3, or I'm like, I'll go maybe 10 points here. The spread, I think they might cover.
There is so much shit talk going on and so much disrespect to these Panthers right now.
It's making me nervous.
It is making me nervous.
I don't like it.
They're still going to win by 10 at home. We learned our lesson in that Seahawks game.
Let me look at something for the betting people out there. I want to look at something real quick. 79% of the money is on the Detroit Lions right now, minus 10.
Wow.
79%.
Wow.
I'm interested to see. I bet you a lot of sharps are probably going to be on the Panthers.
I'm going to pull a question out of a Rashid comment. He said, we need to keep CJGJ for real. 2 weeks out of past his injury, you still feel that way? Like I'm on that bandwagon. I still remember the energy that he brought. Like, I would love to see CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Who was the first one in
long-term
Detroit to say extend him?
Was it Booner?
There's only a reel on Instagram with like 90,000 views on it that literally just me saying, extend the man. Send him now. Go sign the contract. What did I say? I said I had the pen here. Brad Holmes, go. Let's go to Allen Park. I'll meet you there. I'll bring my wallet. I'll give you all the money in my bank account to extend CJ Gardner-Johnson. I don't care what it takes. You still bring him back. He's energy. He's coming off an injury. You could probably give him another 1-year prove-it deal.
Unfinished business.
Yes, but that'll do it for us, guys. We appreciate you guys a ton tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and tell a friend about the show to tune in tomorrow. We're going to be back here breaking down tomorrow's the big show. That's the Woodward Knights pregame show.
Welcome
for
to
myself,
the big show.
Broder, Jalen, Nick. We appreciate you guys and we love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.